Hello students, myself Nayak Pratik, nursing tutor at Chitri Nursing College. Today I am here to explain or demonstrate physical examination procedure done by nurses in a hospital. Physical examination is a systematic collection of objective data that collected directly or through the examination techniques. So the physical examination is a very basic procedure when a patient is admitted into the hospital. So the physical examination is conducted by both doctor as well as nurse. So physical examination is a very important and must procedure. So the articles are necessary for the physical examination are sphygmomanometer, stethoscope, record sheet, measuring tape, tongue depressor, nasal speculum, torch, watch, percussion hammer, tuning fork, weighing machine, and a tray for a vital sign procedure. So in the physical examination, there are certain techniques which are used to collect objective data. So there are mainly 4 techniques used during physical examination. First one, inspection; second, palpation; third, percussion; and fourth, auscultation. So the first technique, inspection. So inspection means to look or to inspect the different parts of body for any abnormality like bleeding, edema or scars. Then the second technique is a palpation. So there are mainly 2 types of palpation, light palpation and deep palpation. So the palpation means using our hand to palpate or to assess the position of a particular organ in a body. See, this is a light palpation on the abdomen to assessment of the organs situated in the left side. And the deep palpation using both hands and providing a much pressure to identify the location of particular organ. So third technique is a percussion. Percussion means using a finger to tap on a particular area of body. See, the tapping in a percussion will produce different sounds, and that will give a data to diagnose a particular abnormality. The last technique is auscultation. Auscultation means using a stethoscope to hear different body sounds. So now the procedure. So first explain the procedure to the patient and the relatives. Then let's collect all the articles at the bedside and assess that all articles are working functionally completely. Then perform hand washing and start the procedure. So in the procedure, first we have to collect the baseline data of the patient. Identification data like name, age, gender, date of admission, chief complaint of the patient, and the diagnosis, initial diagnosis done by doctor. So the general survey include the hygiene maintained by the patient, the clothing, grooming, the normal body movements, body posture and gait. Now measure height by a measure tape and measure weight by using weight scale. Then interpret the BMI of the patient. The next step in the procedure is assessing vital sign of the patient. So the vital sign includes temperature, pulse, respiration and the blood pressure. Temperature is assessed by thermometer. Pulse is assessed by manually and respiration assessed by manually. And the blood pressure is assessed by using sphygmomanometer and a stethoscope. The next is assessment of integumentary system or a skin. So in the integumentary system, first we have to assess the skin color. Now the next is edema. Edema means accumulation of fluid in the different part of body. See, on this part of hand there is a accumulation of fluid, so there will be seen a swelling. Now the next type of edema is a pitting edema. Pitting edema is when we are applying a pressure on an edema, and when we are removing the pressure, the part where we are applying pressure should come to the normal. But in a pitting edema, when we are applying pressure and when we are removing, it will take some time to coming back to the normal. Now the assessment of nails. The angle between nail and nail bed is 160 degree, and the normal color of nail is a pinkish and the tip of nail is a whitish. Now the capillary refill. The capillary refill means when we are applying pressure on a nail, it will become whitish, and when we are removing the pressure, it will become a normal like pinkish. But when we are applying pressure and where we are removing, if it will take some time, means some abnormality is present. Now clubbing of fingers. So in clubbing of fingers, the angle between nail and nail bed is increased, and the shape of nail which is convex, but in the clubbing of finger it will change and appears in a protrusion. Now the assessment of hair. So in the assessment of hair, we have to identify the color of hair, the normal distribution in the scalp, and the abnormalities like a dandruff and a pediculosis. Now assessment of head and neck. So first we have to assess the size and symmetry of face, then assessment of any mass, lesion and scar on scalp and the face, then assessment of lymph node and the thyroid in the neck. If any lymph node enlargement, we can feel by the palpation, and we can see the edema in a goiter which appears in a condition of thyroid problem. Now the assessment of eye. First, alignment and the color of eyeball and the cornea. Then the eyelid. So normal eyelid, then a abnormal condition in eyelids are entropion and ectropion. Ectropion means the eyelid will be outward, and the entropion means the eyelid will be inward flapped. And the last, ptosis. In the patient who have head injury, that will be the eyelid will be drooping from of one side. That will called ptosis. And the next is a strabismus. Strabismus means the alignment of both eyeball are different. And the last is exophthalmos, means the normal eyeball is protruded more from the orbital cavity. Now the pupillary reaction. So in pupillary reaction, we have to apply suddenly light source on the eyeball. So while we are applying a light source, the pupil will constrict, and when we are removing the light source, the pupil come to the normal size. But in a abnormal condition, the accommodation after and before light source will alter. Now the assessment of ear. Symmetry of ear, both side. Then any abnormality like any discharge from ear canal, any lesion or any scar present on the ear. So now the hearing test. So there are mainly two types of hearing test, Weber and Rinne test. So now Weber test. Weber test used to assess the sensory neural or conductive hearing loss. So in this test we have to use tunic fork. We have to hit on our palm and produce vibration and put on a forehead, and ask the patient that he is feeling same sound or vibration on both ear. If there will be any hearing loss, the patient will say that he will getting less or more vibration in one or both ear. Now the second test is Rinne test. So in Rinne test also we are using tuning fork. Same, by the hit on palm we have to produce vibration and keep on a mastered process. In the Rinne test we are assessing air conduction and bone conduction. So in the normal hearing the air conduction is louder than the bone conduction. So if the patient has the higher sound of air than the vibration of tuning fork, then he is a normal. And if the vibration are more compared to air, the patients have a hearing problem. Now the assessment of mouth. So for the assessment of mouth, we have to use mouth gag. So while applying a mouth gag, we have to wide open the mouth and assess the teeth, gums and the tongue. Teeth assessed for dental caries or any other problem. Tongue for its color and any coat like white coat appear in a dehydration. And the gums for a leukoplakia and erythroplakia. Both are seen in the oral cancer. Now the assessment of musculoskeletal system. So first of all we have to inspect and look the bones and the joints. This is humerus and this is radius and ulnar. So we have to inspect the bones in the body. Then assessment of joint, if any presence of any color change, any edema, any swelling or any skin discoloration. And then the range of motion means the movement done by the bones and the joint.